quite so freely as is your wont, Mr. Gosling. You're usually such a wonderful dancer.
Unfortunately, Miss Cardew, I am negotiating an obstruction in my breeches of the same tough, knotty and veined aspect as a Portuguese sailor's arm.
You have a shapely form, Miss Harwood, which provokes a rage of delight in me.
And you have a lively tongue, Captain Jennings.
Indeed, madam. So lively that should you be on the receiving end of it, you would be compelled to cram your underskirts into your mouth to keep the windows from shattering.
With your hair so prettily coiffed, Miss Harwood, you resemble nothing so much as the most charming French poodle.
I'm flattered, Mr. Gosling.
Which leads me to inquire whether at a later stage this evening I might be permitted to attend you on all fours with all the bestial vigour of one of my father's prize mastiffs.
Woof, woof.
Precisely.
Not too fatigued by this evening's exertions, Miss Cardew?
Why, no, Captain Jennings. I could go on for hours.
Then might I suggest that you join me later for some modest theatricals?
Gladly. And which roles would we be playing?
Why, I would play the part of a wealthy industrialist, whilst you, Miss Cardew, would play a Whitechapel strumpet of such eye-wateringly low virtue that you would leave me as dry as a ship's biscuit.
Ah, Miss Cardew. You and your friend Miss Harwood look ravishing tonight.
Then perhaps you would like to accompany us back to Duxford Hall, where she and I would be most happy to disport ourselves gaily before you on the floor of the parlour.
And would I be confined to observing these antics, or might I be permitted to participate at some opportune juncture?
Participate? Oh, Mr. Gosling, I can promise that you'll see more action than the Duke of Wellington's musket.
Miss Harwood, you look ravishing. Though I cannot help but conject that your exquisite gown would look even more becoming strewn on the floor of my bedchamber.
And a man as exquisitely fashioned as you, Captain Jennings, would look even more becoming on, beneath, behind, and for my own benefit, several inches within me.
You dance impeccably, Miss Harwood. You've truly awoken the devil in my imaginings.
And you, Captain Jennings, have stirred something in the region girded by my most intimate undergarments.
Indeed. And I believe it would interest you to know that under the restrictions of my pantaloons, there's a protrusion so monstrously tumescent that were you to avail yourself of it, I can guarantee your horse would see no action for a week.
Captain Jennings, I'm looking forward to succumbing to the liberty of your roving hands this evening.
And it is with the utmost anticipation that I am looking forward to flinging you upon my divan and plundering your most intimate undergarments.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Captain Jennings, but in a quite unforgivable display of amnesia, I appear to have left them in my bedchamber.
Ah, Miss Cardew. I was hoping to have the pleasure of interviewing you this evening.
Oh, Mr. Gosling, I'm afraid I've rather rashly agreed to receive Captain Jennings this evening.
Captain Jennings? But why?
Because, Mr. Gosling, according to Lady Derbyshire, he is endowed with a sword as elegantly formed as it is epically proportioned, and which will leave me walking like an orphan with rickets.
Well, I left